Hello, guys, and welcome to Football Fandom UK. How's it going? So obviously we're here to do a reaction to the England v Scotland game. I'm sure you guys have all watched it. So yeah, let me know in the comments, guys, what you thought of the game. Obviously, I want to know from you guys what your thoughts are. I'll certainly be sharing my thoughts on the game. I'm just trying to bring up some team details. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to bring up some team details. So, guys, what did you make of the game? Obviously, quite disappointing from an England point of view. I've got to take me out off to Scotland, though, guys. Absolutely top draw performance from Scotland. Exactly what I was expecting, to be fair. I did say it before the game. I don't want to be one of these YouTubers that's always banging on about being right, but I did say it. I did say before the game, days before, weeks before, when I was talking to you guys that are England fans, I was saying, don't forget that, don't take Scotland lightly, because this was always going to be the derby kind of game, guys. And I think a lot of people underestimated what Scotland would bring to the table. But yeah, for me, guys, with regards to, obviously, I'll come to England because obviously I've got quite a bit to say about England. But yeah, with regards to Scotland, what a performance, guys. Absolutely. Massive, massive respect. Every Scotsman tonight, I'm sure, is proud. Scotswoman, Scotsman. He's proud, and rightly so, because to be fair, in my opinion, they did a job on us, and that's because they showed more hunger, desire, commitment, wanting to win the ball. So yeah, I've nothing but massive, massive respect for Scotland's performance tonight, guys. They played really well, and they were up for it. They were up for it from the start. I think England made an okay start, to be fair. The first 10 minutes, it was kind of 50-50. It was obviously going to, because obviously as teams come out and play the first 10 minutes again, we all know the battle for control of the ball and control of midfield, particularly. And in the first 10 minutes, I think both teams showed desire and commitment to a certain extent. But Scotland came out on top. There's no question about that. I was stunned to see in the first half, with 15 minutes to go before the end of the first half, seeing England passing it about at the back, sideways, lacking in ideas, lacking in any kind of inventability, if you like, guys. There were nobody at the back showing that hunger or that desire to get forward, or to get the ball forward. They were all, it looked like they hadn't prepared for what Scotland were going to bring to the table, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, guys, I'd love to know, obviously, what you guys are thinking in the chat. That would be great. Drop your comments in the chat box. Seriously, guys, England, I've got to give it as it is, as far as I'm concerned, guys. England was shocking. Absolutely shocking, as far as I'm concerned. No desire. Well, obviously I can't say no desire. There was desire, but just everything about the thing for me, guys, is what is I'm seeing in the England team is this Brazilian or Spanish style of play of trying to keeping possession, and we all know that Spain and Brazil are very good at that. They're very good at this possession-based football. But if you look back in history of English football, English, Scottish, Welsh football, whatever, if you look back in the history of British football, That is not the style that has been traditional in England and Scotland and Wales. So I don't understand why for so many years England are stuck on this passing about style at the back. Don't get me wrong, I know there is times in a game where teams need to pass it about at the back a bit to give themselves a bit of a breather and go again. I get that. You know, I'm not obviously that naive to not recognise that, of course, guys. But yeah, from an England point of view, it was just absolutely shocking. I couldn't believe, like I say, I couldn't believe the passing about at the back. When we came out in the second half, there was a bit more desire at the start, but Scotland just outmatched us in every way in respect of the dirty work that you have to do in a game, guys. It's all right having all these talented players. It's all right having good ball movement, but it's no good if you haven't got that desire and commitment and hunger. And that is the key thing for me, guys. There were none of that. There was no hunger. You know, England so early on in the game, started to look like they had no ideas to break Scotland down. And it shows that in how few goal opportunities we actually create. I mean, we did actually create a few chances, but there were a lot of lack of chances towards Harry Kane. And when he did get the ball, he didn't look at his best. I was actually saying, if you check on my Twitter account, and I think I mentioned it in some social media groups on Instagram, and I think he mentioned it on Facebook, but I know I tweeted it. I was asking the question, should Rashford be switched? Should Rashford play instead of Harry Kane? Sorry, guys, his name went from my head then for a minute. Should Rashford start instead of Harry Kane? And for me, guys, I think tonight's game proved it. Like I say, I tweeted it because I saw it, guys. I saw it in the first game for England. There were just not enough hunger from Harry Kane. I don't know. It just doesn't look much hungry. I think the key thing is, guys, maybe for me, I'm thinking maybe just so many seasons of demand on him at Tottenham and obviously at international level. I've seen it in years gone by, guys. It can have an effect and an impact on players. It really can. It can basically mean that players just just lack that intensity they just lose that 10%. That's the terminology I'm looking for. They lose that 5-10% of the game in respect of the sharpness, the hunger. What makes Harry Kane the player he is, to be fair. So yeah, for me, guys, I did. If you check the Twitter, I did actually ask the question: should we be playing? Should we be starting with Marcus Rashford instead of Harry Kane? Because we saw it in the first game, guys. He didn't look at his best. He really did not look at his best in the first game. And you know, the problem with Harry Kane is he's played that much for England and for Tottenham that you get to a point where a player needs either a little bit of a break to reinvent themselves a little bit, because if they're played constantly like Harry Kane is, other players get to know their style of play. The other players get to know, and if he hasn't got that 5% extra edge, what he needs because he's a striker, then you know. You see what happens. I think the stats were he's had three attempts on goal in the last 2 games, or something like that. I've not checked the stats, to be honest. And I don't follow them too much. It was kind of stats I heard on the radio, but it was something daft like that. It's really low stats. So yeah, for me, guys, I think I'm going to get to the key thing for me, and I will come to your comments in a minute, guys. But for me, the key thing, like I say, massive respect for Scotland. We have to give them credit. I was saying it before the game to England fans: don't take Scotland lightly. You know, they're the lowest ranked team in the competition. Apparently, that's not coming from me, but that's coming from UEFA. Apparently, Scotland are the third lowest ranked team, but they did not show it, and I never expected them to. And any England fans that expected that Scotland was not going to bring what they brought today, I'm sorry, but you haven't watched enough England games v Scotland over the years, because I knew they were going to come with that. I knew that they were going to match, if not outmatch us, with hunger, desire, commitment, and they did all that. And England didn't do that. They didn't do enough for that. And with, like I said earlier in the stream, at the start of the stream, for me, guys, when you get into the end of towards the last 10 minutes of the first half, and you are seeing that your defenders are passing it back at the back, passing it sideways and passing it across the midfield, and not making any creativity to go forward, there's question marks about preparation for me, guys. The big question marks about preparation. Players should not be looking like they're confused and not knowing how to break Scotland down or any kind of. Scotland seem to show more ideas to break England down than England showed to break Scotland down, in my opinion. And massive respect to them for that. But my biggest beef in this game, guys, is Gareth Southgate. He played in this competition against Scotland in the 90s. So he knows what Scotland were going to bring. It doesn't matter that it's a different team. He must remember them games. These are unique games. Do you know what I mean? It's England versus Scotland. It's the most historic international game in world football. It really is, guys. So I was absolutely stunned, and I expected it. I really did expect it, because I have no confidence. I said it at the beginning of the tournament. I do not have confidence in Gareth Southgate. For me, he is not the right man for the job. I get he's tactically sound. I get he gets the players on side. I get all that, but he's got no he's got no growl, if that's the right word you want to. He's got no bark. Do you know what I mean? We need a manager with bark. With somebody like obviously he's a bit old now and think he's retired, but somebody like Harry Redknapp would tell the players it as it is. He would be more direct. He would, if a player was playing poorly, like Harry Kane, he would have the balls to, excuse my language, he would have the balls to take him off and not keep playing him if he doesn't think he's match fit, if he doesn't think he's sharp enough. A manager like that. I know there's not a lot of big fans of Big Sam, but he did have the job before Gareth Southgate, and I think he would have had the wherewithal to take Harry Kane off before this game and make the switch and play Rashford up front in this game rather than Harry Kane. But like I said, for me, guys, the biggest problem for England that was there for all to see is the fact that, Gareth Southgate said it in his interviews. If you look at his pre-match interviews, he actually said it. We're not going to play the occasion. We're going to play to get right. Well, if you're not reminding the players of how important this occasion is, England v Scotland, then you are sending them players out on the pitch unprepared as far as I'm concerned, because this is not a normal international game. This is like, Celtic Rangers or Man United v Man City or Liverpool v Everton. This is the kind of game that this international is. I know it's international football, but seriously, guys, you just seen it. You saw the desire, the commitment, the hunger from Scotland players. And yet, we're being told by UEFA that this is the lowest ranked team in the competition. Did they look the lowest team in the competition? Seriously, did they? I don't think so, because they're playing England, and I knew that they were going to come with this. I knew that they was going to come and do everything they could to upset England. It means so much to Scotland. It might not mean England fans might want bigger and better things and think that they should be up there playing the likes of Brazil and Spain and France but you've got to earn it. And this is the thing. To Scotland, it still means a lot to beat England. Does it actually mean as much to England to beat Scotland? I don't know. I'm going to come to the comments, see what you guys are saying. But for me, guys, seriously, massive respect for Scotland. They outplayed England. I swear. They outmatched us. They outdesired us. Everything. England showed it when they're getting towards the end of the first half, and they are passing it around at the back and looking like they have got run out of ideas of how to break Scotland down. This is the first half, and they look like they were running out of ideas. Seriously. So, yeah. So there you go. Sorry, guys. Just I was steaming watching the game. Seriously, I'm glad I weren't live streaming it. I was because I was getting quite quite irate. So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Don't forget, guys, please hit that like button if you could. And if you're new to the channel, give us a sub and at least give us a try. See if you like the channel. You can always unsub if you don't. But like I say, please give us a chance. So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. I've had, obviously, a little bit of my moment. So we've got Callum G. How's it going, mate? Southgate is such an average manager. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah, mate. Listen, he has got qualities. We can't write him off completely. When we criticise people like Southgate, like I'm going to criticise him because he deserves the criticism, guys. But seriously, he has got something because we saw it with the under-21s, and we saw that he could get the team to play. But has he got it? The tactical knowledge. And I mean, I was stunned, guys, when he said we're not gonna play the case. And then at the end of the game, guys, he's come out and said, "Oh, the players have just learnt something in that game." But why didn't you teach them that in training? Why didn't you prepare them for what they was going to walk into in that stadium? Seriously, guys, I do not think that Gareth Southgate has done his preparation right with the players, and I do not think he prepared them right for what they was walking into that stadium, because they just, seriously, guys, they were passing it about at the back in the first half and not wanting to go forward with it, or looking confused to go forward with it, because Scotland were outmatching them for desire and commitment. Every time they got forward, Scotland was snapping at their heels, were hungry to win the ball, closing down, not giving them any space to pass it about. It was stunning, guys. Seriously, honest, I'm sorry, guys. My passion's got going tonight. It really has. But thanks for that, Callum. And I think I've got to agree with you to a certain extent. For me, Gareth Southgate is not the man to lead England forward. I want a manager that's got a bit of backbone, that's going to be a bit up front with players when they need to be. And he's not going to always play. This is another thing with Southgate, guys. He's the type manager playing his favourite players all the time. It's like, if you're in the clique, you're in the team. If you're not in the clique, you're not in the team. There's so many other players that, for me, that could have been in this England team that didn't even get considered. And I know some of you guys are obviously quite frustrated with some of the players that did get considered, but then got dropped. So, there's big questions for me, guys. And seriously, you could go and check previous messages on social media and stuff. I was saying before the tournament started, I was not confident with Southgate. So thanks for that, Callum. Let's see, Becky, how's it going, Becky? Credit to Scotland, but England was so disappointing. Spot on. England were massively disappointing. Like I said, I'm going to keep reading what you guys have got to say, because I've said enough. Seriously, just all I've got to say: lack of desire, commitment, energy, effort, and ideas. And that has got to fall to the manager, because he's doing all the preparation. So he's come out with, if you read, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he didn't, if you look at his pre-match press conferences, he didn't instill into the players what this game means. It didn't give me the impression that he was going to get it across to the players how big of an occasion this is for fans and for Scotland. It might not mean as much to some of these players that are being paid top dollar, but to the fans, it still means a lot, this fixture. It really does. But thanks for that, Becky. Appreciated. Mackenzie Taylor, what a result. What a game. Come on, Scotland. Mate, honest, seriously, I am an England fan. Obviously, you guys know. But massive respect to Scotland. I have nothing. They outmatched. They did a job on England. That's the reality, guys. They did a job, and England allowed it to happen because they didn't match the desire and the commitment. I can keep repeating these words, guys, because that is what they didn't do. England didn't have that. Scotland did. And Scotland did a job on us. And it was for that reason, because England just didn't step up, guys. They didn't show the same desire to close balls down, to close areas down, to close possession. There were so many things that we just... as an England fan, I'm speaking now, that we just didn't do that Scotland did do. So massive respect, and thanks for that, Mackenzie Taylor. Appreciate that, mate. And I'm sure you guys that are Scotland fans are absolutely bouncing tonight, and rightly so. I know it's only a draw, but it doesn't matter. It's the Euros. Every point counts, especially in these tight groups. So massive respect for Scotland as far as I'm concerned. My criticism is mostly for Gareth Southgate and his lack of preparation. Just seriously, guys, he played in one. That's what frustrates me the most, guys. He played in an England-Scotland game in the Euros in the 90s. So he should know what these players were walking into in this game. He should know. And he didn't prepare the players and ready them and make them aware of how important, it is to the fans and to Scotland. And Scotland showed that it meant more to them than England did. And question, if we were actually looking to get away with a point, I think, to a certain extent, because I thought that Scotland, as the longer the game went on, Scotland were growing in confidence and they were getting, more belief, basically, guys. Ella there, obviously, from an England point of view, not happy, and I totally understand, Ella. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate you coming get involved in the chat, Ella. Mackenzie Taylor, first point on the prediction table. Oh, yes, mate, yes. I know it's, I'm forgetting about that, yeah. I did actually have a quick look before I came live, and I think both you and Cali Central have, I'm sorry, Cali Central, but it's Matthew, in it, the other lad. But I'm thinking both of you guys have actually got a point each, because I think you both predicted a draw. And I think, obviously, the England lads predicted a win, so they're going to get nothing. Both the England lads predicted a win for England, so they're going to pick up no points. So they closed the gap. If you've been keeping your eye on the predictions league, guys, this is a new thing that I'm trying with the Euros. Mackenzie Taylor, first point on the table, mate. Like I say, it's still close, isn't it? And the actual personal table, it's still quite close. So, still, how many games we've got left? How many games is left in the group? And obviously, we can also possibly do the knockout stages as well. So you could climb that table, mate, now. The English, I think, if I remember rightly, that puts Scotland on 8 points, I think, and obviously England would be on 5 points still, because they picked up they obviously got the predictions wrong. Guys, if you haven't been keeping an eye on that, check it out on Instagram and social media. I have been putting it on Facebook, I've been putting it on Instagram, I've been putting it on Twitter. Actually, I wasn't putting it on Twitter to start with, but I have started putting it on Twitter. But yeah, go and check that out, guys. The Battle of Britain fans, you guys, English, it's the first time we've tried it, I've tried it. Obviously, massive appreciation to Mackenzie Taylor and obviously the other guys that are taking part in that. Like I said, guys, it's going quite well, and the table keeps moving. When we started this, I was concerned that you guys might not actually pick up many points and it wouldn't get going, but it has been really interesting because I think there's only been one game where you all didn't get points. Every other game there's been points that you guys have picked up. So yeah, I've been quite enjoying doing it, to be quite honest. So thanks for that, Mackenzie Taylor, and maybe that point that you've got on the table might get you a run, get a run going now. You could suddenly become the predictions king of fandom. We'll see. There's still games to come. I'm not sure how many games we've got now. Is it another 3? Is it another 3 games for UK nations? I think it is. I think it's 3 in it. We've got left. So that's 3 more predictions. So it's well within grasp to charge up that table, mate. But yeah, thanks for that, mate. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Callum G, we are too negative. Scotland wanted it more and deserve at the least a point, mate. Absolutely, they did want it more. They did a job on England. They outmatched England. England didn't show enough desire, commitment, hunger. This is the thing, guys. Scotland showed absolute hunger. Did you see it, guys? They were swamping England, the England players every time they got close to the box. The Scotland lads were just not giving them an inch. They weren't giving them in. They were closing everything down. And we are, obviously I'm an England fan and I wanted England to win, but we have to also give respect. And I said this, guys, if you watched the live streams before, I said to you guys that were England fans, we have to respect Scotland. Believe me, they will come to Wembley and they will give England a game. I said it, seriously. I don't want to be one of them YouTubers that's a know-it-all, but seriously, I said it. I couldn't believe I'm just shocked how many England fans thought it was going to be an easy game against Scotland. I never thought that for 1 minute because I've seen England v Scotland games in years gone by. And another question, guys. Obviously, I'm sure you guys that watched the game heard that a few years back they used to play England-Scotland games once a year. So I'd love to know if you guys would you like to see that come back? Because I think that would be absolutely cracking. Because it's better England and Scotland playing a game. All right, it'd be a friendly, but obviously it'd mean a bit of something for bragging rights and obviously the derby feel of it. But yeah, I think it could be better than playing just a normal friendly. Let me know, guys, what you think. But for me, yeah, I think it's a great idea if that came back, playing England-Scotland games once a year. That would be it'd be quite good. It would. I think I remember them doing it years ago, but when they did do it. But like I say, I was younger then, so as the saying goes, I've slept since then. So yeah. But let me know, guys. Would you like to see that? I'd love to know if you would. But yeah. So Callum G, like I say, mate. Yeah. Scotland could have nicked it, mate. Scotland deserved everything they got. They did as far as I'm concerned, they outplayed England. And for me, guys, if you didn't see my rant earlier on, I did have a rant. I want to get through some of your comments, so I'm not going to start ranting again. But for me, guys, the fact of how poor England played that game boils down to one man, and that's Gareth Southgate. It really does. So, but like I said, you guys might have a different opinion. So let's see what you guys are saying. But thanks for that, Callum. And also, Callum is saying, I hope England are winning on the predictions table. We're not. No, mate. England is not winning on the predictions table. The Scottish lads actually predicted a win, and the English lads obviously predicted. The Scotland lads predicted a draw, and the England lads predicted a win. So that's the Scottish lads for getting another 2 points on the table. But there's still another 3 games to go in the group, and I think obviously because it's been quite interesting, if the guys are up for it, we might actually carry it on into the knockout stages. If the guys fancy that, maybe. But yeah, thanks for that, Callum G. Much appreciated, mate. Mackenzie Taylor, no Scotland. Sorry, no Scotland. I'm sorry. Yeah, all right. Sorry, he's responding to Callum G's question with regards to the predictions league. But yeah. So no, mate. Unfortunately, from an England point of view, unfortunately, the Scottish lads are at the top of that, and fair dues, rightly so. I've been enjoying watching it, to be honest. Like I said, the results are coming in. I've been shocked because I didn't expect the guys to actually pick up. That was my concern when I started it, that they wouldn't get enough points out of it. But yeah, it's actually proving to be quite good. And like I said earlier, there's only been one game where the guys haven't picked any points up at all. So yeah, it's going pretty good. But check that out, guys, on social media. And if you could hit the like button, it'd be much appreciated, guys. Helps the visibility of the channel in the algorithm thing that YouTube have. So yeah, thanks for that. Matthew Bishenden, how's it going, mate? Just joining. We were just discussing the predictions league. If you guys didn't know, Matthew is Cali Central, and he is sitting top of the table at the minute for the individuals. But obviously, it's a team thing. So as a team, both of the Scottish lads have just picked up a point each, if I'm correct, on their predictions tonight. So they're obviously climbing that table and putting a bit more gap between them and the English lads. But like I said, still 3 more games to do. I think that puts you guys 3 points in front, doesn't it? So yeah, still plenty to twists and turns could come with 3 games left and the possibility of the knockouts. But thanks, Matthew. Cheers for dropping in, mate. Appreciated. And Matthew saying, I'm very proud. What's your thoughts on the game? Yeah, mate, honest. massive, massive respect to Scotland. Seriously, you guys showed more desire, more commitment, more hunger than England. And like I was saying earlier, I did have a bit of a rant. You can play it back if you want. But yeah, for me, guys, I am absolutely steaming about Gareth Southgate, because for me, when you are seeing England players passing it about at the back and not nobody wanting to go forward with it in the first half, this is the last 10 minutes of the first half. That England was doing this. When you are seeing that, that showed me that Gareth Southgate hadn't prepared these players for what what Scotland were going to bring to the table. Seriously, guys, for me, that showed it. That, forget everything else in the game. England players passing it about in the last 10 minutes of the first half tells me all I need to know, and that is that Gareth Southgate did not prepare them players correctly. But you guys might have a different opinion. But for me, guys, that is how I'm saying. And that, to me, I expected it. I expected this kind of performance from Scotland. I really did. A massive respect to Scotland. They did a job on England, and it's simply because Scotland did their preparation properly, and they was up for it. They showed more desire, more hunger, everything that you want to see from football players when they step on the pitch and put that shirt on. And England didn't show enough of it, guys. They just didn't show enough of it, and the lacking of ideas going forward. For me, was down to the manager. But yeah, I'd love to know what you guys think. Drop your comments in, and I will certainly try to get to your comment. So thanks for that, Matthew. And yeah, you have every right to be proud, mate. Scotland did you proud tonight. The Scottish lads put in an absolutely top draw performance. And obviously, I'm England. I'm disappointed, but for me, I seen it coming, guys, because I said it at the start of the tournament. Gareth Southgate doesn't give me confidence. He's not the kind of manager that's got the backbone, and we've seen that where he should have considered. If you go and check my Twitter, I said it on Twitter. Should we be playing Rashford in that instead of Harry Kane? Because I think we saw in the last game that Harry Kane he's not at his best night right now, and that's no disrespect to the lad. He's played a lot of games, a lot of football, so maybe he's just worn out of the demand that he gets from club and country. After a period of time, guys, after a year or two of a player having that kind of demand on them, it's expected that eventually there's going to be a point where they run out of steam, and it can be caused by an injury, it can be caused by fatigue, whatever it is. But for me, I was saying it. Check my Twitter, you'll see, guys. I asked the question: should we play Rashford instead of Harry Kane? So yeah, but I'd love to know what you guys think. And thanks for that, Matthew. You deserve to be proud, mate, because like I say, Scotland definitely, from my point of view, they did a job on England. Callum G, still time yet, hopefully. Yeah, mate. So I'm not sure what you're referring to there. Right, I think you might be referring to the predictions league. So yeah, mate, like I say, still 3 games to go, and we may carry it on into the knockout stages. We will see. Sorry, guys, if you keep seeing me wipe my nose, it's because I've got hay fever and I've been suffering with it for the last few days. So yeah, I'm trying to stop me start getting the sneezes. I don't know if you've suffered from hay fever, but believe me, guys, it's horrible. I hate it. Every year, I always say every year, please don't let me suffer with it this year. But every year I do. Every year I never get away with it, and it is very annoying. So yeah, my apologies if you keep seeing me, brushing my nose. That's why, because I don't want to start sneezing while I'm doing the live stream. So thanks for that, Callum, mate. Yeah, and like I say, still, yeah, totally agree. Plenty of time in the predictions league, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. Let me know what you're thinking. I know there hasn't been a lot of movement, but one thing I know there's not been a lot of movement in the table. One thing I am glad to see there's been is that the guys have been picking up points. And the reason that is, guys, because if this prediction league thing goes well, I'll be trying other stuff like it and hopefully doing more of that kind of stuff in the future. But like I said, this is the first one. And like I say, it's a kind of prototype, an experiment, if you like. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, it's going well. And I hope the guys are enjoying it, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. It's just something I thought that was worth giving a try. But thanks for that, Callum, mate. Much appreciated. Will Bertham, how's it going, mate? Great to have you in the chat. I thought you wasn't watching the England game tonight. I was going to invite you onto the live stream, but you said a few days ago that you weren't going to be watching England, or you were going to be busy. So I thought you'd gone to the cricket or something, mate. Which is a bit frustrating, to be honest, because I was going to see if I could get you on the live tonight with me, but maybe you could join me on the next one, possibly. But yeah, that's the only reason I didn't message you about it, because I was going to message you about it, but then I remembered you said that you wasn't going to be watching the game, so I presumed that you might have cricket or something, or some other commitment, and that's why you wasn't going to be watching the game. So yeah, but how's it going, Will? And Willie's saying, I actually really like Gareth Southgate. Mate, that is not a surprise. Whatever I like, you don't like. And whatever you do like, I don't like. So that is not a surprise, mate. That is not a surprise. But yeah, that's fair enough. You're entitled to your opinion, mate. I didn't say I didn't like him. I don't like him as the England manager. That's for me, he's shown. If you heard me earlier on, mate, I said he's shown he has got something as a manager because he did it with the under-21s. So I'm not saying he's a bad manager, but I don't think he's the right manager for the England first team. We need a manager that has got some, that's got a bit more, he's too calm. He doesn't show enough emotion on camera, frustration and stuff. This tells me if he's not showing it on camera, if he's keeping himself so in check like that and so prim and proper, he's doing it in the dressing room. And we need a manager that's going to get the fire going in the players. That's how you win tournaments, mate. And it's nothing, I'm not saying I hate him or dislike him. I just don't think he's good enough to be an England manager, because we need, like I just said, we need a manager that's going to put fire. It's all right having all the skill and all this tippy-tappy football. That's all well and good. But you sometimes, as we've seen tonight, you need that fire. You need that desire, commitment, hunger, snappiness, crunching into tackles and wanting to win it. And the flair and all the fancy football can come after. That'll come naturally, because these are top talented players. But we, first and foremost, it's as they say, done it, guys. If you listen to these managers when they talk about and they get asked on camera of the press, and they say, well, what's your, when they take over a team that's been playing badly, right, we go back to basics. And that's what a manager means. When they mean go back to basics, they mean like defensively. Let's get the defense right. Let's start tackling right. Let's start showing a commitment to the team as a whole. None of this individualness. A team, play as a team, fight like a team, and tackle like a team. And for me, I don't think that Gareth Southgate drives that into the players, that fire to really go for it when they need to go for it. We have got really talented players in the England team, but the talent is not going to necessarily win you tournaments on its own. And that's all I'm saying. And for me, that is why Gareth Southgate is not good enough to be the England. And he might prove me wrong, guys. If he proves me wrong, I'll hold my hands up. If he goes and wins this tournament, I'll hold my hands up and be the first to admit it. I was wrong. But seriously, guys, I don't think he's good enough to get us over the line and win us a tournament. I really don't. But like I said, Will's entitled to his opinion. Like I said, mate, it's nothing against him. It's not that I dislike him. I just don't think he's good enough to be being England's #1 manager. But that's my opinion, mate. So thanks for that, Will. Callum G, he's an average manager. Well, like I say, I don't. He's definitely. It's something to debate, isn't it, guys? He's definitely got some skill as a manager, because he showed it with the under-21. So I'm not saying he's useless, because he's not. He's got some talent, and we've seen him with the England first team. He's got, he's managed to put a game plan together and execute it. I mean, for example, I think we played quite well against Croatia, but for me, it's in games like this. And these kind of games are going to come around quite regular for England, because let's be honest, this is England, and half of the nations in the world want to be England. I can reel loads of them off, guys. Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, Australia, Canada, France. These are all nations that we have got loads and loads of history with, and there's more. Do you know what I mean? And these are all nations that want to beat England just because it's England. So we have to have that fact. We have to have what Scotland had tonight. That hunger, that desire, that closing down, that never say die attitude. But like I say, maybe that's because I'm an older guy, because I remember that kind of football when I was younger, guys. And it seems to me it's dying out in the game a bit, because some of these players are being paid so much money now that they don't need to want for anymore. You know, once they've won a couple of trophies and got a few million in the bank, they can start, you know, putting their feet up and, you know, oh, I might play well for this. I'm not saying to do that, but it's a possibility. I might play well for this game. I might not, because they've played the first half of the career awesome. The second half of the career, they might not play very well. But like I say, it's all about opinions, guys. Football is all about opinion. But for me, I definitely don't think Gareth Southgate is good enough to be England's manager. But he might prove me wrong. And if he does, fair dues. But thanks for that, Callum. I'll try and get through some of your comments now and stop ranting about Gareth Southgate. William, so Will Bevan, he gets the players up for it, and he hasn't done much wrong. I'm not saying he's a lot, mate. I've just explained it to you. I don't want to keep repeating myself. For me, I'm not saying he's a bad manager. I don't think he's good enough to get us to win a trophy. That's what I'm trying to say to you. You know, it's not that he's a bad manager. I did not say, you did not hear that from my lips. I said, I do not think he's good enough to be England's number one. This is like, right, let's ask you, right, if he was in the Premier League, would he get Man United job? Would he get the Man United job? Would he get the Chelsea job? Would he get the Man City job? Would he get the Liverpool job? No, for me, he wouldn't. Right, so if he cannot get them top jobs, why is he England manager? We want the best guys. If we want to win tournaments, we need the best managers. And for me, he is not a best manager. He's not good enough. I'm not criticising him and saying he's not a good manager. I'm just saying he's not good enough. And I've just pointed out to you guys what I think he's missing. The fire in the belly. He's not putting the fire in the belly for me, guys. You know, he's great with the tactics. He's great at keeping the players happy, all that kind of stuff. And that's brilliant. And, you know, even some of his tactics are great, but he doesn't put the fire in the belly. And there has been some mistakes in other ways tactically as well. But obviously, I'll give him a break with the tactics, because all managers make mistakes with tactics. So I'm not going to criticise him for that. But for me, it's the key thing, guys. I want to see England win a tournament, a competition. In my life, I want to see England win either a World Cup or a Euros. And for me, the only way that is going to happen is if we get a manager in the dressing room that has got fire in the belly, because a manager with fire in the belly will put fire in the player's belly. It's as simple as that. So, yeah. But you guys are entitled to your opinion. I respect your opinion, Will. But I am not, like I said, I'm not saying he's not a good manager. I just don't think he's good enough for the England number one, mate. I don't. But you are well within your rights to have your opinion. Callum G, we have top class players, Keita, Sterling, for example, and he doesn't get the most out of them. Fair play to Scotland, though. Yeah, mate, absolutely. To be honest, where was Sterling today? Because I think I only noticed him on the odd occasion, and normally, you know, he is one of England's main danger man. Let's be honest, he really is. And there was I didn't see enough of him today, guys. Tonight, I really didn't. I thought that he went. I don't know whether he went missing. Obviously, in the game, I don't want to be too critical of individual players, because for me, guys, this is why I said, for me, it's a team game. It's not about individuals so much, unless one particular player has a really bad game that lets the whole team down. Then yeah, but try not too much to single out individual players. But as Callum's pointed out, and rightly so, for me, I didn't think we saw enough for Sterling tonight. I really don't. I think he was missing for big parts of the game. And I think he did try and contribute. I'm not criticising his effort. I'm not saying he didn't try, but just didn't see enough of him, guys. And we've seen in games gone by, I think he's a real danger man. He's the danger man for City, and we've seen he can be the danger man. But to be fair, we have to give credit to Scotland, because maybe that's why we didn't notice Sterling as much tonight, because Scotland didn't give him time to get on the wing and run at him. and they were staying compact. If you look at how Scotland played, it was absolutely planned properly. They stayed compact and they chased the balls down. When England came into their half and as the space got tighter, they closed them down and they were trying it England on the counter attack. And for me, they did their preparation a lot better than England. And like I say, for me, that boils down to the manager. But yeah, thank you very much for that, Callum G. And I've got to be honest, I think you're right. I think he doesn't get the best out of them. But he does some games he does, but there's some games where he doesn't. And tonight is, like I say, for me, his preparation tonight was poor, really poor. And I'll be honest, guys, because I tried to be honest. In the previous game, he surprised me because I thought his preparation, but when we saw the team and stuff, I thought he got a few things wrong, but he got it right. And I respect that. I take my hats off. I was wrong in the first game against Croatia. He got it spot on and got the job done. But in this game, nah, sorry, his preparation and how he sent them players out was poor. It really was. But like I said, you guys entitled to your opinion, so keep them coming. And don't forget, guys, hit that like button if you could. Be appreciated. Help the channel get more visibility in the YouTube algorithm. So yeah, a massive respect to you, Callum, for sure. For your comment, because I love it when you guys can be honest and because sometimes we do have to be honest, guys. Sometimes you have to be honest and say that the opposition played better, and they did. They did. From an England point of view, Scotland outplayed us as far as I'm concerned. I know there's fans that's going to go down to the little details and stuff like that, but for me, it's just good old-fashioned football, desire, hunger, and Scotland showed more of it. They really did. Ella is saying, I literally don't care about Scotland. Why do they hate us so much? I'm glad you actually said that, Ella, because I have this. I try to obviously I try to involve Scotland in fandom as much as possible, and I try to be respectful. And think the problem is that with a lot of Scottish people, and this is just my opinion. This is obviously the problem with a lot of Scottish people is they hate London. They don't hate England, but they think they hate England. But in actual fact, they hate London, and it's because of the government. And the problem with that is that the Scottish, what frustrates me with that is if you don't live in the south of England, if you live near London, then you're fine, you're happy. But for a lot of people in other parts of the UK, like for example the north of England, they feel disattached from what goes on in the UK just as much like the Scottish people feel that London doesn't represent them. Most people in north of England feel exactly the same way, that London doesn't represent the north of England. Everything goes to the south. But that's the debate for another day. But yeah, Ella, rightly so to point it out. But I think a lot of it is down to politics. It's down to the politics. And at the end of the day, who's the people that suffer? It's the people. It's the normal average people. And this is where I always try to point out to Scottish people that I love Scotland. I've been up to Scotland many times. It's a beautiful country, and I absolutely adore it for how beautiful it is. I've spent a lot of time up there when I was younger, and it's fantastic country. But whenever I've spoken to Scottish people, they always say to England, when I say it to them, no, you don't hate England. You don't hate England. You hate London. And then they're like, yeah, you're right, actually, yeah. And it's all because of politics, guys. It really is. And like I say, we all know that that's a discussion for another day. I'll leave it there. But yeah, fair dues, and thanks for that, Ella. Matthew Bishenden is saying it's not just the England game that means a lot. We are really looking to get 3 points on Tuesday, and I have belief. Mate, you should have belief, because honest, Scotland, obviously I'm an England fan, so from an England point of view, I was disappointed with England's performance. I've said it enough. But for you guys, the Scottish, massive respect. Be proud of your country and your players tonight, because they absolutely got their preparation, tactics, everything spot on. And England just didn't have an answer for it. And that, for me, in my opinion, guys, is down to the manager. It really is. But I want to know, do you guys agree. Do you think it's down to Gareth Southgate, or do you just think that the players didn't show enough desire and hunger to get something to get the win? I'd love to know what you guys think. Obviously, Will shared his opinion. He's a big fan of Southgate, which is fair dues. Respect his opinion. But for me, guys, I'm not a big fan of him as England manager. It's nothing personal. If he was manager of a different club or something like that, fair dues. But for me, as England manager, I don't think he's got what it takes to get us across the line to win a trophy. Excuse me, sorry about that. So thanks for that, Matthew. And yeah, you are rightly so to be proud as a Scottish fan tonight. Ella X, you guys hate us. Yeah, I don't want to comment on that too much because I have seen a lot of the stuff that's been being said on social media, and to be fair, some of it is absolutely ridiculous. People need to remember, it's his sport. He's supposed to bring in, have the banter. Obviously, I'm nothing wrong with the banter. But when it's getting to some of the stuff I've seen on social media, guys, it's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. It's just a game at the end of the day. And people come out with absolutely the most ridiculous stuff, things that you wouldn't even expect them to say to their worst enemy. Do you know what I mean? And just because they, have a few beers or whatever, and start, getting going too far with the hate, and there's no need for it, is there? But that's just my opinion. I love the banter, guys. I love a good football joke and a bit of friendly banter, but I'm not one for the hate, all this hate nonsense. There's no need for it. But thanks for that, Matthew. Ella X, you guys hate us. Well, no, actually, sorry, I thought that was Ella putting that. My bad. But no, Matthew, you're wrong. Because like I've just pointed out, in England, it's kind of dysfunctional. You think that it's only Scotland that feels detached from the UK, but it's not, mate. There's other parts of the UK, Wales, and also, like I said, Northern England, Cornwall. You go down to Cornwall, and they want to be a separate country as well. Seriously, look it up if you don't believe me. Cornwall, the leg of Britain, right on the end, they want to be their own country. They've even got their own flag. Seriously, guys. So you need to go and learn some of this stuff. If you think that it's just a divide between England and Scotland, because it's not. And I don't want to get into it, guys, because like I said, the channel is about football. But a lot of it all boils down to London and the government and Westminster, and everything that they do, affects how we feel about each other. And we shouldn't feel like that, guys. We all love football. We can enjoy it together and enjoy a bit of banter and enjoy. But Scotland, if Scotland doing a good performance on England tonight is good for Scotland, but it could also be good for England, because if we've been, let's be honest, guys, what would you rather play? Would you rather play the Scots and see a game like that, or would you rather play Lithuania? Seriously, do you know what I mean? Because the Scots have come and they have tested England. They have given them a bit of a red face, and reminded them that there is teams out there that might not be ranked the highest, but that will give you game. And, like I said, for me, guys, I think it's the naivety of Gareth Southgate, because you only have to go and look at the history, guys, and you'll see how many countries we've got history with, unfortunately, in a negative way, because of things that have been done in history in political senses. And that's got nothing to do with the people, but affects the people. And like I said, I'm going to leave it at that, guys, because I don't want to start talking politics. We're here to talk football. But thanks for that, you guys. But like I say, I've seen some of you guys getting on great in the Fandeng groups on social media. So just, remember that. Not everybody's hating. Not everybody's like that. There's banter and stuff like that, but not everybody's feeling towards that extent of it with hate and stuff. Stephen Allen, Southgate is an average manager. Don't think he has that extra special something to take us all away. But love for him to prove me wrong. Well, yes, spot on. Actually, you just said what I said, but you said, yeah. what I was thinking, but I didn't quite say it, if you know what I mean, Stephen Allen, in respect of, I'd be happy for him to prove me wrong. Yeah, let him prove me wrong. But like I said, for me, I just don't think he's got that fire in the belly, guys. You might think differently, but for me, that is what is lacking with Southgate, putting the fire in the belly of the England team. So I'm going to try and get through some of these comments now. But thanks for that, Stephen Allen. That's much appreciated. Obviously, they're working away in the background, and I thank you for chipping in. Ella X, well, I don't get that impression from being around fans near me. Like I say, Ella, seriously, the rivalry is if you didn't know, you should know, because it was mentioned in the game. England-Scotland is the oldest international fixture, official fixture in world football. It was first played back in 18 something or other. It's the oldest, and there's been about 100 and I can't remember. It said the number in during the game, and I've forgotten it now. But about 132 times or 34 times or something like that that England and Scotland have played each other in international games. Now that's a lot, guys. That just shows you, that gives you an idea. It's just in recent years, obviously, Scotland have had not as good a team, but they are starting to improve, guys. They've got some talented players coming in. All right, they're not the finished article, but they have got some talented players. And I said it, if you guys know, that were in the previous live stream, I said it, we have to give Scotland the respect going into the game, because if we don't, they would do a job on us. And they did do that, because you didn't respect what they was going to do, that they was going to come and not show fear. That's the key thing, guys, didn't it? Scotland showed no fear. They were not intimidated by, England's glittery star names, if you like. They came and came ready to play and ready to match or outmatch England's desire, commitment, and this is what you have to remember, guys. It's not always about the fancy football. I know that we're becoming more used to that with what we see from Barcelona and Man City and Real Madrid and Spain and Brazil, teams like this where they play this, really beautiful, silky football. But we have to remember, guys, that there is the other side of the game, and that is the basics, where you just work hard and you don't have to have the most talented players, and you can actually get results by just working hard as a team, the good old-fashioned way. And that is what Scotland did tonight, and we have to give them massive respect for that, from my point of view. Thank you very much for that, Ella. Like I say, I wouldn't worry too much. As you guys know, Fandom is about all UK. I thought about doing this channel on its own in the beginning, just for English football, because I'm English. But I thought, no, Fandom, needs to be about all UK football, and I want to try and obviously, for me, guys, the ultimate competition. If you've not watched it, there was a video what I did when I first started the channel very early on. I would love to see the Carabao Cup scrapped. The League Cup, that is, and we change it for a UK Cup where Scottish clubs and English clubs would play against each other, and it would bring the football rivalry between England and Scotland closer together, and I think that would be good for the future of all football in Scotland and England, and would benefit both countries, in my opinion, because we all know the League Cup is not very popular. But yeah, that's just my opinion. But yeah, you can check that out, guys. I did a video on it about a year ago or something like that. It's on the channel. Ella, like I say, Ella said, let's see what else. Matthew Bishop, I don't get the impression from being around fans near me. I think I read that comment. But thanks for that, Ella. Appreciate it. Pompey on tour. Why the hell did he take Phil Foden off? Mate, absolutely. What a spot on question, because actually ranting about Gareth Southgate made me forget about that. And you are absolutely. I was baffled with that decision. I was glad to see him take Harry Kane off, because I don't think Harry Kane should have even started. I think we should have switched it to Rashford, because I think that Harry Kane showed that he's not quite at the, he's got 5-10% missing at the minute. and he showed that in the first game against Croatia. But yeah, Pompianto, yeah, spot on, mate. Absolutely perfect question, and I haven't got an answer for it because I think every England fan is asking that exact question. Why the hell did he take Phil Foden off? So yeah, and thanks for that, mate. Appreciate you dropping in the chat. I think it's the first time I've seen you, mate. So thanks you very much for that, mate, and appreciate you getting involved in the chat. Let's see, Alan Wallace. It was a 0-0 draw, no side won. So why are people saying Scotland won? Nobody had won it. Was 0-0. No, it's not. Nobody's saying that won it. But the point is, mate, they did come and do a job on England. Let's be honest. You know, they outplayed us in respect of desire, commitment, fire in the belly, all that. I said it earlier, mate. I was saying earlier that when we see the players at the end of the first half, in the last 10 minutes of the first half, start passing it sideways and backwards, then there's questions got to be asked about the preparation for the game. Why are players passing it sideways and back in the last 10 minutes of the first half? You know, that to me shows a lack of ideas, that the players have already run out of ideas of how to break Scotland down. So for me, I haven't said that Scotland won, mate, but I am giving Scotland massive respect because they played way better than England for me, mate. They really did, and I'm just being honest. Believe me, I'm English. I wanted England to win, but I will also be very honest. And Scotland deserve respect. Sometimes, as a fan, you just have to take your hat off and say, yeah, they did. They outmatched us. They showed more desire and commitment and will to win than we did, because they haven't got all the fancy players that we've got in the England team. The players, you know, and to be fair, I've just got to be honest, guys. To be fair, for me, Scotland, we have to pay them respect. I was saying it before the game that they would come and they would, you know, they're the third. Apparently, they're the third in UEFA's rankings. They're the third lowest ranked nation in the tournament. So according to UEFA, we, as England, being a lot higher ranked nation, should be, you know, it should be a walkover. It should be no problem. But it was a problem, and I expected it to be a problem, and I expected it because I expected England wouldn't prepare properly with the basics of matching the commitment and desire and will to win the ball back, and simple things like that. Which is what cost England today, and rightly so. England, you know, Scotland fans are bragging about. I know it's only a draw, but they've had. This is the first tournament they've had for 20 odd years. We have to cut them a bit of slack. So they come to a tournament and they get a 0-0 draw in our backyard. You cannot. You know, as far as I'm concerned, we can't criticize them, because if we went up there in their backyard and give them a 3-0 thrashing, we'd be bragging about it. Do you know what I mean? Scotland have been building for a couple of seasons now to try and get competing again after a number of years of having, you know, a bit of a lack of talent coming through. So you can't blame Scotland fans for enjoying the fact that they're in a proper competitive game. They've got something positive out of a game that everybody wrote them off. Most people did not expect Scotland to get anything out of that game. So for me, mate, I think they deserve respect. But you're right to actually point it out. I'm not criticising you for that, mate. I understand where you're coming from. Some fans might be coming across like it. Yeah, Scotland won, but they didn't. We know that. But we just have to give them respect that they did outmatch England's desire, as far as I'm concerned. But thank you very much for that, Alan Wallace. Appreciate coming getting involved in the chat, mate. Will Bertham, also congrats to Scotland on the 0-0 draw. They're real champions. I think Will Bertham is being a bit sarcastic there, mate. And coming from a West Brom fan, that is a bit shocking, mate, considering that there's many games in the Premier League where West Brom have to dig deep and defend like that just to get a point out of a game. So, yeah. I think that's a little bit disrespectful as far as I'm concerned, but I get the banter. He's just having a bit of banter, but for me, it's also a bit sarcastic. But fair dues, well, I respect the banter. I'm a TV, so they drew 0-0. They did drew 0-0. I think a lot of England fans are frustrated with the fact that Scotland are shouting about the fact that Scotland are happy a 0-0 draw. But like I said, guys, as much as it's frustrating, I'm sure that you've got to understand that they're just buzzing to be back competing again. It's been so long since they've been in a competitive tournament. You cannot blame Scotland fans for enjoying the fact that they feel they have competed equally with a team that nobody gave them a chance against. How can we not respect that? Do you know what I mean? As a Bolton fan, I'm honest, guys. As a Bolton fan, if we went to Old Trafford and played United, Bolton would be written off as soon as they walked into the stadium. Nobody would give them a chance. So if we went to Old Trafford and got a 0-0 draw with Man United, I'd be bouncing. I'd think it would feel like a win because there's that gap in talent. So, like I say, we've got to just be a little bit understanding from my point of view. But I know that I can understand England fans being frustrated with that. Will Bertham, it's called a bad day at the office. It happens to every team. Yes, mate, it does. But this is the top tier of football. This is, what players aspire to be involved in. This is like the creme de la menthe. Do you know what I mean? If you go into a cake shop and you buy it, you'll have the the budget range cake, you'll have the middle range cake, and then you've got the top range cake. Which one are you going to want to be in? This is the competition we're in, mate, right now. This is not the Carabao Cup. This is the European Championship. This comes round once every 4 years for a reason, because it's the top tier of international football as well as the World Cup. So yes, I get it's a bad day at the office, and in a league game, mate, I would totally agree with you, and I would be bang on, spot on, totally agreeing. But in this kind of competition, mate, you don't have much room for a bad day at the office. It's why it's structured so it's so tight, and there's not much room to make mistakes. But thank you very much for that, Will Bertham. Much appreciated. Matthew Bishington, I would like to continue the predictions league into the knockout stages. Cool, mate. Well, like I say, I'll be speaking to you guys about that soon. And hopefully, yes, let's hope we can sort that out if you guys are up for it. Sounds good to me. But thank you very much for that. I've just lost where I'm up to. So, yeah, thanks for that, mate. Danny B, good performance from Scotland, if you ask me. McTominay kept closing the door on England. Yeah, mate, to be fair, like I say, I know that there's a lot of England fans out there frustrated, but for me, as an England fan, I want to see England win a tournament. So I'm sorry, but I have been criticising England, and mainly Gareth Southgate, for just the lack of the fact that he has played in this fixture, guys. He has played in this fixture, and as far as I'm concerned, he did not do enough preparation, making the guys, the England lads, aware of what they was walking into in that stadium today and how much Scotland would want it. So, yeah, for me, that falls with the manager. But thank you very much for that, Danny B. But massive respect. Yeah, like I say, mate, I totally agree that Scotland do deserve a bit of credit because, like I said, let's be honest, it's been 20-odd years since they've been in a competition. So we have to give them a bit of respect. I know England fans are not happy that Scotland fans are bouncing about over a 0-0 draw, but it's because they've come to our backyard and they've competed. And that's all it is, guys. At the end of the day, it'd be even more harder to take if they'd actually come and defeated us in our own backyard. So let's just let let them have the moment because it's understandable. If we hadn't competed in a tournament for 20-odd years as England, we'd be just the same. And we have to put up with all the banter that we get for failing to keep winning competitions when every time we go into a tournament, we go into it singing, it's coming home, and all that happens is the England team come home. So, you know what I mean? And we get ripped for it. So, I'm just saying, you can understand why the Scottish fans are having a bit of a moment because it's the first time they feel that they've competed for a long time. And that's all it boils down to. But thanks for that, Danny B. BFC_DY4. Hi, mate. Can't stay too long as have had a long day. Good result for Scotland. Just unfortunate for England. Still all to play for. Yeah, mate. Thanks for that. Really appreciate it. I know you said you was busy tonight, mate. So, yeah, much appreciated you coming, dropping in. Like I say, mate, just thought I'd jump on here for a quick hour to obviously give you guys the chance to have your opinion. And obviously, I certainly wanted to share my opinion on Gareth Southgate. But yeah, massively appreciation for that, mate. Really appreciate you coming and dropping your thoughts in the comment and your comment in the chat of your thoughts. But yeah, like I say, I think you guys that are, a lot of you England fans that, some of you guys are understanding why Scotland fans are bouncing about competing. And that's all it is, guys. It's not that Scotland are just wanting to, obviously they're wanting the banter, of course they are, and they're wanting the bragging rights, just as we would want the bragging rights if we'd won it. But, they're just buzzing to see that Scotland have competed. And we can't criticise them for that, guys. Because as football fans, that's what we want to see. I'm frustrated tonight because I feel that as an England fan, we didn't compete enough. We have got top talented players. There's no question about that. But did we want it enough? That's the question for me, guys. And I don't think England players did show that. So thanks for that, Dylan. Much appreciated, mate. Really, really appreciate you coming, sharing your thoughts. Ella X, hopefully we draw against Czech and finish second in the group. Right, I'm presuming that's you wanting that because of who we're potentially going to play in the knockout stages. And to be fair, I haven't looked at what the way it could work out, to be honest. I think I'm not even going to try and think about it, but I did see a little bit of something about it. But yeah, Ella, if there's a particular team you would like to see England play against, let me know in the knockout. Any of you guys, if there's a particular fixture you would like to see in the knockout stages of teams, I'd love to hear what fixture that would be. Maybe some of you'd like to see England-France, although I think if England played France, I think it'd be ideal to play them towards the end of the knockouts rather than at the start of the knockouts, because then obviously knowing England's luck, we would go out early on because we like to go out on penalties, don't we, as England? So yeah, but thanks for that, Ella X. Much appreciated, mate. Matthew Bishenden, I feel like England aren't too motivated for results because they know if they finish second, they avoid playing France or Portugal or Germany in the round of 16. Poor by the team, if that's true. Yeah, you might be right, to be fair, guys. I hadn't actually looked at it like that, to be honest. As a fan, I just want to see the team play as a team and show everything that I feel that Scotland showed tonight, wanting to win the ball, all players motivated, all players up for it. And don't get me wrong, guys, I'm not saying the England players weren't up for it, but they just didn't have that extra edge that you need to win this kind of game. And that, for me, like I said a few times now, comes from the manager. But yeah, thanks for that, Matthew. And you could be right, mate. I can't argue with that, to be honest, because I haven't looked that far ahead, but you could be spot on. LX, have you always been bald? I swear you never used to be. No, I normally wear a cap, Ella. But I've been getting a lot of people judging me because I wear a cap. So I've tried to start calming down wearing the cap. I'm just being honest. I'll still wear it sometimes, but no, I have always kept my hair short because I have, since a young age, always had a bit of a skin complaint, which is, so I've always kept my hair short so that I don't get no rashes in my hair. So yeah, my apologies if you don't like the fact that I'm a bald guy. It just don't judge people off appearance, guys. Just because I've got a bald head doesn't mean I'm a thug. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so thanks for that, Ella. But no, in the previous videos, you've probably seen me with the Van Den cap on. I just, like I said, I'm trying to cut back on wearing the cap because everybody keeps saying it makes me look like a criminal. So I've tried to stop wearing it as much, which kind of bugs me because that means that people are just judging me off appearance, and that really does get on my nerves. Because you should, considering the day and age that we're living in, especially how we're being told to be respectful and, be equality and all that kind of stuff. And, we all know what's going on in the world right now, guys. So when I get judged and told I look like a criminal just because I wear a cap, that really bugs me, as I'm sure some of you guys can understand. But thanks for that, Ella. I'm sorry if I look a bit intimidating or whatever. I don't mean to be. As some of you guys have talked to me on social media, you know that I'm just a normal football fan, just like you guys. So yeah, don't judge me just because I've got a bald head. That, like I say, is just for mostly for most of the young, like when I was younger, from a young age. I remember my mum once let me have spiked hair because when I was a kid, Sonic the Hedgehog was a big thing. And I remember my mum let me have spiked hair and all my head come out in a rash. And I had to have it all shaved off because obviously they put all the gel and all that kind of stuff in your hair. And honest, within 2 days, my head was just covered in a rash and they had to shave it off pretty quick. So yeah, that kind of gives you an idea of my skin problem, why I keep my hair short. So yeah, thanks for that, Ella. Sorry, I just missed Will's comment. Will is saying, yeah, mate, the cricket got cancelled because of the rain, so I watched the football. All right, sorry, mate. Well, like I said, I was just explaining. I was wanting to get you involved, but like I say, you did say you were going to miss the game a few days ago, and it just stuck in my head that you said that. So I thought there was no point. Well, obviously, you know how it is. Will, you do your own YouTube, so you know how it is. When you're trying to get ready for going on YouTube, it's a lot of preparation and messing about and stuff. So because I genuinely thought you were busy because you said you were going to be busy and miss the game, that's why I didn't bother messaging you. So I'm going to call it a day in a minute, guys, because I'm getting a really dry mouth and I've got nothing to drink here. That's because I've been yapping so much. As you guys know, I can talk. But thanks for that, Will. Massively appreciate that, mate. I will speak soon and hopefully sort something out. But like I said, I did want to get you on tonight, but I thought you were busy. So thanks. He got us to the World Cup semi-final with an average team. He doesn't stand for bad behaviour from players. I'm not saying he stands for bad behaviour from players. And yeah, he did get us to a World Cup in a semi-final, mate. But let's be fair. We didn't exactly play the toughest teams in that World Cup, did we? Do you know what I mean? So, it's kind of like, and I'm not being funny, but a semi-final is not winning it. So, like I've said, mate, you can stick up for him as much as you like. I have no problem with Gareth Southgate. I just don't think he's good enough to get us to win a trophy, mate. It's as simple as that. Considering how much you hated Big Sam so early on, I don't understand why you are even having this debate with me because we all know what he's done, and I'm not saying he's a bad manager. I wish you'd get that point. I'm just saying I don't think he's good enough for England to be the England manager, mate. So thanks for that, though, mate. You're entitled to your opinion. I respect that. Sem Topo. We play second of Group E if we finish second, plus try and enjoy every moment. Yeah, mate. Well, thanks for that, mate. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before, so thanks for dropping in. I appreciate your comment. Matthew was just saying earlier whether he was wondering whether, obviously, maybe the possibility of England thinking that finishing second to avoid playing France. So you could be right, and obviously, as a fan, I don't really want to see that. I just want to see the players go for it. You just should be getting that winning run going. If you get the winning run going, then it don't matter who you play. You got a chance of winning, haven't you? You get a winning run, the winning mentality. There's no point in the group stage saying, "Oh well, if we get a point here and we get." No team should go out with that mentality of, "Oh, we just get a point out of this game." So if there is even the slightestness, I would be really disappointed if that was being thought about in the England team from my point of view as a fan. But yeah, see Topolo. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But yeah, thanks for that, mate. Much appreciate you coming, sharing your thoughts. Also saying, try and look for the positive in every moment. Yeah, mate. I'm all for being positive when it's positive, but I'm also for one of these kind of people that believe if constructive criticism is deserved, then say it. And for me, I'm just frustrated that I think that Gareth Southgate did not get the players aware of what what Scotland was going to, how Scotland was going to play. That they was going to close the spaces. That they wasn't going to give us the respect. They wasn't going to be intimidated by England. They was going to come and they was going, and that's another thing, guys. We're not just Scotland didn't just play long balls. We'd be even more steaming as England fans if Scotland had just come and played long ball. We have to give them respect because they did actually try and play football. And they played some football. It wasn't like it was just hit and hope. So for me, I'm disappointed. That's all, guys. For me, I'm just disappointed that Gareth Southgate did not get the players up for it enough. And it showed it in the fact that, like I said earlier, when you get players start passing sideways and backwards in the last 10 minutes of the first half, that tells you they're running out of ideas. It really does, guys. And that, to me, comes from the manager. Because why should top players be running out of ideas 10 minutes before half time? That's bizarre, guys. It really is. But you guys are entitled to your opinion. And like I said, I want to be positive about England. I'm just frustrated because I've said it before, I don't think Gareth Southgate is good enough to get England to win a tournament. But thank you for that. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that. Sem Topol, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, mate. So my apologies if I am not. But thanks for coming, getting involved in the show, mate. Really appreciate it. Danny B, thinking back, I can't believe Pickford saved O'Donnell's shot. Mate, there was actually a few cracking shots, to be fair. A few cracking saved, yeah. And yeah, Pickford. Definitely, I think Pickford had a pretty good game because there was spells where he didn't have much to do, but when he was called on, he did what he needed to do, didn't he? And to be fair, I think he did have a good game. And also, I think the Scottish goalkeeper had a good game as well. Maybe it's a game for the goalkeepers, guys. I don't know. Would you say that? Would you say that the goalkeeper man of the match deserves to go to? The man of the match would deserve to go to one of the goalkeepers possibly, but like I say, in all honesty, guys, I'm just disappointed with England's lack of energy and desire, and I'm massively respectful to Scotland out showing us, out matching us with desire and commitment as far as I'm concerned. But thanks for that, Danny B, much appreciated, mate. LX, I wouldn't say Scotland outplayed us. It was a very close game. What I mean your fair dues, Ella. But what I mean by outplayed us is I mean they outplayed us in desire. Because, like I said, I don't go off UEFA rankings, but in the UEFA rankings they have got Scotland as the third lowest ranked team in the competition. So if that is the case, and that's what UEFA are saying, then surely that a team like England shouldn't have the problems that we had trying to break Scotland down today. Scotland actually showed like they had more ideas than England did, and I thought that they looked the better team. If you was an alien and you came and watched that team, them two teams playing today, and you didn't know nothing about them, who would you think was the better team? I wouldn't say it was England, guys. I wouldn't, because we didn't shine that much, and we should be doing. So, like I say, Ella's right. It was a 50-50 game. I get what she's saying, and she's right to point that out. But for me, I think that Scotland just showed that bit more desire, more hunger, commit, everything, all the dirty stuff, all the nitty-gritty of the game that we don't, we all want to see the flary football like what Messi creates and what De Bruyne can create, and these kind of players, these top players, they can create some beautiful football moments. But when you, maybe it's because I'm an older guy, I don't know, guys, but I do appreciate the old school style of football where you just do the basics right, the hard work, they're working as a team, they're working together, closing spaces, and making the opposition know that you are not going to fear them no matter how good they are. And that is what Scotland did well tonight. So for me, I've got nothing but respect for that, and just disappointment from an England point of view. But of course, guys, of course, I want my country, England, to do well in this competition. What? I wouldn't be a football fan if it didn't. But yeah, of course I do. But I'm just disappointed with England, and I'm respectful enough to give respect to Scotland for giving England the game that I thought they would. To be fair. So Ella X, let's see what you obviously. So thanks for that, Ella. Sorry, I thought you put another comment there. But yeah, you like I say, Ella, you are spot on. I'm not saying it was a 50-50 game, but just from my perspective, I thought that Scotland played better. They outplayed us in respect of hunger and desire. But thank you for that, Ella, and reminding me that it was more of a 50-50 game than I'm probably giving it credit for. But yeah, Danny B, the type of game that both fans think they should have won, to be fair, Ella. Yeah, that's fair dues. You're right. Like I say, maybe I'm being a bit harsh on England. But I'm, like I say, being older, I have seen England make these mistakes before. So maybe when you get older like me, you might understand that frustration. But yeah, thank you very much for that, Danny B. To be fair, you guys corrected me. I take it on board. I hold my hands up. It was a 50-50 game. I just think that, like I say, I think that Scotland, considering, the football world doesn't really rate us, rate them against us, then I think that they did themselves proud, and that we, as England, just let ourselves down a bit with the, the hunger for it, if you like. LX, Danny B, a very good comment. To be fair, at the end of the day, a draw was the right result. Yeah, fair dues. Yeah, I can't argue because both teams did create chances. In the first half, I think we had the better of the goal mouth chances, but Scotland did, they did create quite a few chances on goal themselves, to be fair. So we have to give them respect for that. Guys, if you could, it'd be really appreciated if you could hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, please drop a sub and give us a chance, see if you like what the channel's about, and the only way you can do that, like I say, is at least watch one or two shows before you make up your mind about us, and like I say, if you watch one or two of what we do, you get an idea of what Fanden is about. But yeah, thank you very much for that, Ella. Massively appreciating your input tonight in the chat. Thank you, Alfie 024 244. I'll just call you Alfie. Hi, England are gonna win. It's coming home. Yes, mate. Fair enough. I love the positivity. Nothing wrong with that, mate. Massive respect for that, and thank you very much for coming and getting involved in the chat. Appreciate it. Seeing a few new faces in the chat tonight, guys. So really appreciate that. If this is the first time that you've seen Fanden, please come and get in touch on social media and get involved in stuff that I'm doing, because Fanden is about fans. I'm not going to go on about that too much now, but believe me, guys, this is a YouTube channel that I am trying to make with all respect to other YouTubers and what they do. I've got all respect, but I am trying to make Fanden and build Fanden to be a true fan channel that actually involves fans. So yeah, there you go. But thank you very much for that, outfit. Much appreciated. Great to see new faces in the chat. Justin Herinus. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, mate, so my apologies if I am not. Good game. Saka needs to play. Yeah, mate, that is a good shout. That is an absolute good shout. There's been some good shouts from a few of you guys tonight, and obviously question marks about taking off Phil Foden was pointed out earlier. I think it was that Danny B that pointed that out. But yeah, Justin, spot on, mate. You are right. To be honest, I was saying earlier on in the show, I think Gareth Southgate has got his favourites. because for me, I would have changed a Harry Kane tonight. I would have started with Rashford rather than Kane. So, obviously some of you guys feeling that some of the other players are not getting a fair look in. And like I said, questionable about Phil Foden as well coming off. But yeah, Justin is spot on about Saka because he is a talent and we need to get him playing to start seeing the best of him. So thank you very much for that, Justin Herenus. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your name correctly, mate. Great to see you in the chat. I really appreciate it. Thanks for that, mate. Ella X, if we finish first, we play like France, Germany, or Portugal. But if we finish second, we play Slovakia, I think. Yeah, but that's, mate. But seriously, guys, right? All right. If this, obviously, some of you guys have pointed this out tonight. So obviously, you're thinking, or some of you are thinking that maybe England are wanting to potentially finish second. So do you think that's dangerous? Because, any team in this competition, every team we've got to take serious. Is it dangerous to underrate Slovakia? Could that be the mistake that we make that catches us out? I'd love to know what you guys think with regards to that. But yeah, thank you very much, Ella. It's Stuart. How's it going, mate? Great seeing you in the chat. Hi, mate. I am absolutely drunk. Great result for us and a result that works well for both teams. Enjoy your night, mate. Thanks for that, mate. Yes, enjoy your night. Don't blame me having a few bevies there because you guys, like I say, you guys that are Scottish fans have every right to be proud of your team tonight in respect of the effort and commitment and desire the players showed for the shirt tonight, because I think every Scotland player did play well. And like I say, there were some England players. I was impressed with Phil Foden. Really impressed with he seemed to be the only player wanting to get forward when he got the chance. So I was disappointed to see him come off. So yeah, I would love to know what the thinking was behind that and all. But yeah, thank you very much for that, Stuart. Really appreciate you dropping in, mate, and enjoy the rest of your night. Alex, why does wearing a cap make you a criminal? I don't know. It's that, unfortunately, Ella, as you know, the society that we live in today, some people just judge you off appearance or what you are or whatever. I don't know, but I've worn a cap for years, but obviously I want to run the channel professionally, so I don't want people I will still wear the cap, don't get me wrong, because it's me. If you know me personally, everybody that knows me personally knows that I normally wear a cap. But yeah, it's just I don't want people thinking that way about me particularly. But unfortunately, I keep getting told it. I've been told it for years, Ella. Loads of people, why do you wear a cap? Makes you look like a criminal. That's the first thing people say. And maybe I think it's because I'm tall. Because you guys don't see me, obviously, because I'm sat behind the screen. But I am very tall. So maybe the fact that I'm tall and I wear a cap, maybe it's a bit intimidating, but that is not the intention that I have, guys. But yeah, but thank you very much for that, Ella. It was, like I say, that was just me sharing a little bit of a personal thing with you guys. It's Stuart. I think we showed that we can compete and qualify from the tournament, mate. I'm really honest. Obviously, I'm an England fan, so I wanted England to win. I'm not going to deny that. I've been honest with you, Scotland lads that are Scottish, that I wanted England to win. But I would love to see Scotland qualify from the group. So I really will be hoping that you guys can get the job done in the next game and qualify. Because, yeah, that would be absolutely awesome. And it can only be a good thing for all UK football. It really can, because if Scottish players keep developing and keep improving, they're going to, obviously, as we see, Scotland and England players do play in both Scottish and English leagues. So, we have to remember this, guys. You might not follow the Scottish football if you're English, and if you're Scottish, you might not follow English football. But believe me, guys, there's plenty of English and Scottish players on both sides of the border. So seriously, yeah. But thanks for that, Stuart. I would be buzzing if you guys qualify, mate. I really would. I would be happy for you guys to qualify, and I'm being genuinely honest. Matthew Bishenden, thank you very much, mate. Appreciate you coming, getting involved in the chat. Really, really appreciate it, mate. Take care, and thanks for your positive input, mate. Much appreciated, and all the best. And Stuart saying, hopefully Scotland, England, and Wales qualified. Great for all three home nations to get through. Yeah, mate, it would be absolutely awesome. And to be fair, we've not really touched on Wales tonight because we've been talking so much about England and Scotland. But yeah, to be fair, Wales, what a performance from them the other day. They did do an absolutely a perfect job. And I was worried for them going into that game against Turkey because Turkey have got some talent in that team. I don't know why they're not seeing the best out of it. I don't know. You'd have to ask a Turkish fan. But they have got a few talented players in that team that I believe are playing in the Bundesliga and one or two other leagues around Europe. So it's not like they've got a team of just, players playing in Turkey. When I was listening to the start of the tournament, they were saying that Turkey had a lot of their team was scattered playing in club football across Europe. I was worried for Wales going in, but they did a job on Turkey, and rightly so. Massive respect to Wales for that previous result. That would be absolutely awesome, Stuart, if we could see all three UK nations qualify for the knockout. I wonder if that has ever happened, guys. That would be an interesting fact to know, that, wouldn't it? Of all England, well, obviously the Northern Ireland missing, but I've ever three UK nations ever qualified for the last 16 of the Euros or the World Cup. That is actually an interesting one to possibly Google that and find out. So thanks for that, Stuart, mate. Much appreciated. JMC official info hassle. England v Scotland. I'm not sure what you're saying there, mate. I'm not sure. It sounds like maybe quite a bit of two languages there. I'm not sure. But thanks for getting in the chat, mate. I'm sorry, apologies. I can't quite read what you're saying there. But Ella X, Tuesday, if you do a stream, I might not be able to join because I will be going out with my sister to watch the game. Listen, Ella, honest, I do not expect any of you guys to watch the channel all the time. You watch when you can. I know that some of you guys have been showing absolutely fantastic support, and I really appreciate it. Like I said, I know you've got commitments. Some of you have got studies, exams, things like that. So I totally understand that. Whenever you can watch the channel, this is your channel, it's here. Whenever I'm streaming, it's here for you guys. You know it's here for you guys to come and share your opinions. And I will happily try and read as many comments and opinions as possible. Whenever you can come, Ella, that is fine. Don't worry about it. I know you're a big fan of the channel, and I really appreciate the support. And if you are off out with your sister, good for you. I hope you have a cracking day out or whatever it is that you're doing. I know that, like I say, I totally understand that you guys can't watch all the time. So when you can watch, I appreciate it. I don't take nothing for granted, guys. Right, guys, I'm going to call it a night because I actually was only going to come on for an hour tonight, and I've actually been on for nearly an hour and 40 minutes. It's been an absolutely great show, to be honest, guys, and it's been made great by, obviously, you guys with your fantastic input and obviously sharing and getting a good debate going. I know that obviously you guys not always going to agree with what I say, and I respect that. I'll always respect that. And like I said, you guys have helped make tonight's show a really good one. Thank you very much for getting involved. I really appreciate the support I've been getting from some of you guys. It's been absolutely awesome, and it really does encourage me to keep going because, believe me, guys, there are days when I ask myself, why am I doing this, with the stress and all the work that comes with it that's obviously added on to my normal daily life stuff. So yeah, but when I see you guys show fantastic support like you do, it does encourage me to keep pushing on with the Fandom project. Any of you guys that are new tonight that joining the channel, it'd be great to hear from you in social media. You can check out stuff that we're doing on social media because, like I said, we're trying to build a positive fan community around the channel. So yeah, it'd be great to hear from some of you guys. And like I say, that's pretty much it from me now, guys. I hope you enjoyed the game. If you haven't, please hit that like button because, like I say, it does help with the channel getting a more visibility on YouTube. But yeah, massive respect to you all, you guys, for keeping your comments positive and clean and respectful. I really appreciate it. And thanks for all your input. Take care, guys, and I will hopefully see you again very soon. Bye for now.